Hi everyone, I'm Rupert. So I grew up back in Sydney, Australia. This is a photo from the archives of my family home in a particular room called the office. And it was a spare bedroom that my parents had converted into the home base for their media production company. I didn't quite realize it at the time, but it was like super weird to have this many computers in your house. Like there were more in there too. And back then, this office kind of became my playground. I was an only child. So I spent a lot of time in there, and on the computer, I learned to cut and edit videos like my parents did. I built my first website, and I learned to code in there as well. Back then, the computer felt like it was this workshop, and applications were these magical tools that I could use to create anything. And it was the late 90s, so like Final Cut Pro 1 had just been released. What else was happening? Blogger was democratizing online publishing, and there was this real promise in the air that one day everyone would have this same sense of agency over their computers as I did. I would argue that that promise hasn't eventuated. Today, we actually have very little agency over our computers and, of course, the software that runs inside them. So we wanted workshops with apps as our tools. Instead, apps have transformed from tools into like entire territories, sovereign kingdoms that you have to visit with permission, of course. Each of them have their own ways of doing things, their own logins, their own ways of storing and exploiting your data. Meanwhile, your personal computer has basically been relegated to this role of like a window into one of these realms. And this causes real issues. Every day I watch people in my life struggle with this reality. I'm sure you do as well. To get something done on their computer, they have to first find the right app among many and probably many open tabs. They then have to create an account or sign in or like start a free trial. And then perform one of the like many micro tasks to do anything on the computer that involve like hunting around the UI to do stuff. Constantly like dealing with incompatibilities between like this cloud and that system that don't work together or play nice. And then of course handing over information and context about a task again and again over the course of it as if this isn't like your literal personal computer that you use every day. These all kind of look like totally separate things, but I think they're part of the same root cause, which is simple tasks become complex because these apps don't live in your environment anymore. They don't live in a shared space. So they can't be coordinated by your system or share information or work together naturally, even when you have literally two of them right open on your screen. The good news is, like, we can actually build a different future. We built this cloud apps ecosystem. We can build another way of doing things. And I think right now we're in a really pivotal moment where we have a real shot at changing the status quo. Before I get into that, I just want to briefly tell you how I got here. So after finishing my degree in ethics and astrophysics, I went to Google, where I started working on early large neural networks, working with them a lot. And I saw their potential for kind of breaking down these barriers between apps and allowing for a more flexible type of computing. At Mozilla, I looked at the future of the web and how the browser could be more of an active participant interpreting the web based on what your intent is. And then I went to Adept, where I was looking at a potential breakthrough technology allowing AI to use applications just like a human would, to see if we could fix it that way. But I've come to the conclusion time and time again that in order to really fix this problem, which is to give people their agency back and allow applications to work together seamlessly, we can't actually just tack AI onto existing software as it is today, these cloud apps. We actually need to build a new kind of software, one specifically designed to live within a shared intelligent environment. Let's talk about that last bit first. What is a shared intelligent environment? Some people might say it looks kind of like we've got a personal assistant that goes and like does all of your stuff for you. I don't think that's quite realistic. I think it actually looks a little bit more like this person. In the early days of telephones, operators were these intermediaries, and they actually had like expert local knowledge of their area, and they could answer basic tasks. And importantly, they could patch you through to services and information when you needed it. So what would it look like to have something like an operator for your software? It would be something that can understand your intent and connect you with the tools and services you need to do what you're trying to do. So that is what I'm building. It is called Operator. It's a new intelligent client for the web. I'm going to give you, it's very early stages, but I'm going to give you a little demo of it, what it can do today. All right, so let's pull up Operator here. All right, you can see I've got a bunch of tools down the bottom that Operator can use. I can add new ones from the web whenever I want. And I'm just going to look, definitely going to want some dinner soon. So we'll look up some restaurants in New York City. You'll see that instead of like giving me search results or like a chat response, Operator is picking a tool here to use, and it's conducting an action for me to do this search. So like any other web app, I can sort of go through and click around and take a look at some of these places. But I'm going to ask here, which one would you recommend? Because Operator is contextual, it knows about me, and based on my interactions in the past, it's my personal computer. So it can recommend me something. I do really like Italian food, but I ate pizza last night. So I tell you what, there's a lot of places here. What I'm going to do, grab all these spots and put them in a new doc for me. It's going to take a little while because I don't have streaming enabled yet. But this is a task that I would not like ever attempt with a traditional computer interface. I would have to go and like click each individual spot on a map and like copy and paste it over. But this isn't a normal cloud app. This is a shared intelligent environment. So I can pin this over here and take a look. You'll see that I have all of the items in this map. Operator can read deep inside the map and pull out information that I couldn't even see. Cool. This is all the restaurants. Great. Now let's filter the doc by Asian food near my hotel. And again, Operator is going to use my software with me. It'll, in a minute, filter this doc for me. Cool. I got a great list. And this is also a regular app I can use too, so where do you want to eat? And I can now copy that and send it to someone and have a nice dinner. Of course, this isn't just for like finding restaurants. This is a great research tool as well. I can ask contextual questions based on what I'm reading, get full like multimedia stuff playing, because like these are web apps, they can do kind of anything now. And speaking of which, like I think one day it would be really cool to support full 3D software workflows, because we can do it. All right, that's a really brief preview of Operator. So unlike a bunch of disconnected cloud apps, Operator kind of brings you back this workshop with tools. It maintains your context, holds all your data locally, and it connects everything in a way that kind of just works. But here's a really cool thing. So Operator is built on web applets. This is an open standard and SDK I've been developing over the course of camp. And this is what you're seeing here is a web applet. All those tools were web applets as well. And it's basically an AI native app, which means I can use it, like you build one with regular web tools like HTML and CSS. You can chuck it up on the web, use it with a regular browser. But if it's embedded in one of these intelligent environments that support the same standard, you'll be able to actually allow the AI to use it. So we can see all the actions that are possible here and see the internal state of this tool. Because it's open, that means that like anyone can build one of these things to solve a problem they have and just like chuck it up on the web and it will just be discoverable and work. But even more importantly than that, anyone can also build their own client or integrate it into their existing client. So you got a chat app you want it to work in. It can be kind of like an artifacts, but it does stuff. But you can also chuck it in like, you want these things in your browser? Cool, really easy to integrate. Or on a canvas, or in like one of these AI puck things that you can get. No worries. Any client and any applet, they'll just work together. This is been released as a community project, so we've got an early community building around this, doubling every week. Would be great if some of you guys want to join it as well. And that's available now. And also, Mozilla is betting on this as an AI application layer that is actually open, that everybody can benefit from. So I can now announce that we're part of the Mozilla Builders program, and we're working closely together to see integrate this further and more broadly. So imagine thousands of specialized tools, each of which can be instantly discovered, combined, and summoned to solve any problem on the fly, all of it happening locally and on device and securely. Imagine where that could be applied. That's kind of where we're going with this. All right, let me talk briefly about how to make this sustainable. All of this work is being done under the umbrella of Unternet, which is a new public benefit corporation I've set up, which is overseeing all of the pieces of this ecosystem to make this vision a reality. And we're playing in just like humongous markets. I mean, browsers are used by billions of people literally every day. ChatGPT is set to have $3 billion worth of revenue this year, and developer services kind of underpin the entire web right now. So with that in mind, because we're building not just a product, but also an open software ecosystem, we can adopt the model of the web, which is open standards that anybody can use or build on or develop further, and paid infrastructure that can make everything just incredibly easy, both as a user or a developer. And of course, it's open, so it's like you can host stuff yourself, that's fine. That brings us to today. So as Jordan mentioned, right now it's still very early. I came to camp with like sketches and a couple of prototypes and a very strong vision conviction. And everything that you've seen that I've shown you has been built within that last 2.5 months. But it's really laid the foundation of what's next, which is right now I'm hiring a founding team. Later this year, I'll be doing a limited release of Operator, so you can get on our mailing list on the website to join that. And then next year, I'll be doing a public launch and a fundraise. So if this is exciting to you like it is to me, either as a partner or a developer or an early user, please get in touch. I would love to hear from you. My email's on the website. Just give me a shout. And I really think that together we have a shot to build the internet and the web that we all deserve, which is one that serves users. Thank you.